So from on hands and knees, get comfortable. And let's just, for a moment, make a fist and just move over the wrist and engage the shoulders. So really bringing in the fingers in tightly so that you could feel the hands when we release. So going over, putting some weight, and then releasing, and now opening up the hand, and then moving over the hands so we could feel the wrists. And let's continue with that, and let's take the right hand and move it so that the fingers move to the right. And we're just right over the hand with the shoulder, and we're just going to do little circles with our bodies over the hand, just stretching out that wrist. Finding the breath, going in the opposite direction. So feeling the fingers, so the fingers are spread out. You could feel the pinky especially, at least I do. It's kind of nerve issues there. So now take the hand and point it back, and point it back to where it feels right for you. So I'm not pointing this hand all the way back because it has it doesn't want to. And so I'm going to go a little diagonally, and I'm just going to do circles and be gentle with the wrists, feeling the forearm, and then going in the opposite direction. Leaning back, intensifying the stretch, and lifting the hand and placing the top of the hand on the ground, spreading the fingers out, and gently placing a little bit of weight so that you could sense sort of the opposing force and the relaxation that comes from that. Come back, make a fist, and place your fist on the mat, and just sense the wrist and the arm, the fingers, and release. Place your hand on the mat. Let's take now the same thing to the left hand. So taking the left hand, pointing the fingers to the left, spreading the fingers out, and going in circles. One direction. And then going in the opposite direction. Moving the fingers now towards the back. And again, allow your body to guide you. So this hand does a lot more, has more access to that pointing back than the other. So I do. Go ahead and do little circles in one direction and then in the opposite direction. And then lift and place the top of the hand down. Spread the fingers out and place some weight on that hand. Moving left and right. Make a fist and place some weight on that arm and on that hand. Feel the strength. Make a fist with the other hand, and you could just notice the sensations from holding yourself up in a fist, if that feels right for you. If not, just use your hands. All right, from here, let's spread the fingers out. And coming into cat-cow, we're going to place hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips. Let's inhale. As we inhale, we're going to look up and arch the back. Notice your lower back. On the exhale, round. Inhaling, arching. Looking up. Exhaling, rounding, hollowing out the belly and noticing the thoracic spine, the upper back into the chest. Inhaling. Exhaling. Come to center and drop down into a child's pose. Bring your forehead to the mat and just move left and right with your hips. Take your hands off the mat and just move your fingers, making a fist. Keep working on activating your wrists so that they feel good. Place your hands back on the mat and extend your hands forward. Stretch out the shoulders as you do, so go as forward as you can with your fingers. And once again, tent your fingers so that your arms are now are close to your ears. Let's lift the head up and look to the hands. And push back a little bit, so noticing your back. Place your hands flat on the mat and lean forward towards the front of the mat. And shoulders now right over the wrists. And we're going to take an inhale and we're going to do a push-up or chaturanga, kind of like very modified. So elbows point back, shoulders away from the ears. Take an inhale. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. And push back into a child's pose. Stretch out. We come forward, inhaling. Right over the wrists. Elbows point back. Shoulders are away from the ears. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale back. Stretch out again. Look to the hands, lean forward. Come to right in front, right on top of the hands. Take an inhale. Exhale, come down. Take another inhale. Exhale, push up. All the way back. Let's make it more fluid. So now move on your own and find your rhythm. Coming down, pushing up. Do that like 2 or 3 times. Being aware of your shoulders and your arms. Taking it easy, but pushing right to the edge of what feels good for you without crossing over. Strengthening the body, moving the body. Coming right to center. Right, so our hands are towards the front of the mat. Let's go ahead and take the left leg up and stretch it out. We could look forward. Let's move the foot around. All right, from here, can we push back? So actually bring the foot down so you have more stability. So now toes are tucked in. And we're going to lift that leg up as we lean forward and push down. Push back. Bring the foot down. Get into your child's pose. Toes tucked. We go forward. Lifting that leg, noticing the back. Coming back. One last time. Toes tucked. Bring the forehead to the mat. And we lean forward. Lifting that leg and pushing back. Forehead to the mat. And we bring that left knee to the ground. Let's take a little break. Sit back on our heels. Take shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Find the breath. And forward and down. Walking hands forward towards the front of the mat again. Making the arms nice and strong. Let's take that left leg out, or right leg out. So lifting. And let's bring it to the ground. Adjust your knee wherever you need to adjust. I just did my left knee. So toes are tucked, right toes are tucked. And we're going to lift and lean forward. Lift that leg up, feel that right glute, and push back. Lifting and going forward. Pushing back. Make your adjustments so that it feels good for you. Maybe you're not lifting the leg and you're keeping the leg down, that's fine. But we're still working on that arm strength, chest strength, lifting and going down and pushing back. Back to our child's pose, feeling those toes on the mat, stretching out the body. If we've been sitting all day long, this is such a nice way to shift the energy in the body. Going back, lifting that leg up and coming down, chest to the mat, and reaching back. Placing the foot down. All right, coming back. We could intensify that, and I'll show it just once to see how that feels for you. You could try it. So, taking that left foot back, we're going to lift and lift that leg up, tuck those right toes in, and come up into a down dog. And come down. Bring knee down. Let's do it with the right leg. So right leg back. Trying it out. Lifting. Coming down chest. Lifting that left knee up. And pushing into a down dog. And coming down. Coming up. Coming down with our left knee slowly and bringing our hands, or actually our right knee back down. Let's come back and sit on our heels. and sense the body, right? So we might notice the chest, notice the shoulders. Take a moment to just move your head left and right. Place your hands now right in front of you. Tuck your toes and lift those knees up. As you lift, push back. So now your butt is on your heels and you're moving back, pushing back, coming into just a sitting, squatting position, but with the heels up. Let's go ahead and round the back. So now turning chin to the chest. And now arching the back, looking forward. And watch yourself so you don't fall, but see if you could find your balance on your toes. And then slowly come up. Staying on the toes. All right, good. So staying on those toes. Heels up off the ground. Sensing the back of the legs. Noticing the soles of the feet. Warming up. Now gently placing your heels down. Lifting toes up. Feeling the arches of your feet on the mat. Toes spread out. Spreading toes out and placing them on the ground, relaxing the knees and finding your balance. It's like noticing the balance. Good. We come towards the front of the mat. And situate yourself. Sort of notice where you are. We smile and gosh, we take everything in. There's lots of sounds coming from my yard. I don't know if it's an opossum or a rat. Might be one of those. Lots of critters. Move left and right. Right, so adding a little bit of movement. And we could actually now add some arm movement. Twisting the body. Moving the neck now left and right as well. Very gentle. Keep your eyes open and let your eyes sort of follow along, which gets like a little intense as you move left and right. Keep following your breath. And we come back. Right? So as we stand, open up your eyes really wide. Put a little crazy smile on your face. And now let's look up with your eyes only. Look down with just your eyes. So you're looking now at your nose. Notice how that feels. And now take your gaze, your eyes only to the right. So your left eye is looking at your left side of the nose. Now look with your eyes only to the left. And come back to center. Take a moment and take your hands and just place them on your face. touch your temples and the forehead. Open up your jaw, close and open your mouth. Feel the joints in your face. And smile a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and also, because that feels good, with your fingers, just tap your forehead. So starting from the forehead and going down to the temples and going right under the eye sockets, next around your nose, right on your upper lip, and then to the side and to the jaw and to your chin. Coming back up. And releasing. All right. Take an inhale and a nice ah on the exhale. Inhale again. An ah with your mouth open. Ah. One last one, inhaling. Ah. And we smile, right? We smile, we remind ourselves that we are in these wonderful bodies that have taken us where we are right now, this very moment, and lots of gratitude there. Let's come to the front of the mat and we're going to do a sun salutation. All right, so let's take shoulders back and down and hands right by your side, palms facing forward, fingers spread out. Your feet are right under your hips and your belly is tucked in a little bit, pelvis is tilted forward a little bit, chin is slightly down, you're looking straight ahead. And with your eyes open, just notice the energy in your body right now, just what's happening within you. I usually find that the tapping in the face just really feels great and energizes my entire sort of like awareness. Find your breath. Let's take an inhale. As we inhale, keep looking forward, reach your arms up, keep your gaze forward, and take your arms right by your ears as you tuck your belly in, pelvis is forward, and now look up. Take an inhale here. Exhale, open arms wide and gently fold forward. Fold to where it feels good for you. Bend your knees a little bit so that you could relax. Chin to the chest, look behind you. Feel the blood rushing to your head. Let your shoulders relax. Wherever you're sort of folding, it's good. Right. So rounding the back, feeling your back, your shoulders, your head, your arms. With knees slightly bent, come up and you could place your hands under your knees or above your knees. Above your knees is actually quite nice. And take shoulders away from the ears and flatten out your back. So notice that my back is flat right now. Lean back a little bit and take your toes up. Feel your glutes engage. Bring the belly in and your gaze is straight down. Take an inhale Exhale, bring hands to the ground, take feet back into plank, and let's drop down into knees again, right? So working on arm strength just gradually. If you want to go ahead and do a complete plank in chaturanga, do it, but maybe not. Elbows point back. We take an inhale. On the exhale, slowly, so very slowly come down. Point toes back. On the inhale, take chest up. Shoulders away from the ears, and look up. And press the pelvis down. Bring your butt cheeks together. Take an inhale. On the exhale, tuck toes in. Push up on your knees. So partially, take an inhale again. Exhale, come up. Take a little step forward. Take your feet hip distance apart and take your heels slightly out. Bend your knees and push back. Chin is to your chest, knees bent. Feel your upper back as you engage the shoulders, the shoulder girdle. Take a look at your belly if you can, belly button. So really bringing chin down to the chest. And now straightening out the legs, feeling the stretch in the back of the legs. Keep pushing away from the hands, fingers spread out. Look to the hands, take a nice big step forward. And we come up halfway, so hands back on the knees. Bend the knees a little bit, flatten out your back. You're looking straight down. Take an inhale. On the exhale, fold. Chin to the chest. And we inhale slowly all the way up. Drop hands to the side. Move your head towards the right and then towards the left. Feeling those shoulders and neck and coming back to center. Relax, move, right? We could do left and right movement again. Right, so adding a little bit of just shifting the movements so they're not totally linear and expected. Come back to your breath. Open your eyes really wide. Look around you. Take the space that you're in. Remind yourself that you're in a safe place and that we could smile and relax. We could speed up the twisting if the body feels good, if this is good for your body. So speeding it up, adding a little bit more dynamism. Feeling those arms and coming back. All right, moving it left and right again. We'll do that sun salutation now a little faster. All right, shoulders back down and palms facing forward, looking straight ahead, smiling, inhaling, exhaling down, looking towards your belly. Inhaling, halfway lift, so flat back, whatever feels good in terms of the flatness, coming up. Exhaling, hands to the ground, taking feet back onto the knees. Take an inhale. Exhale, come down. Point toes back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back into the knees. Take an inhale again. Exhale, lift knees up. Take a little step forward. Heels out. Fingers spread out. Hands shoulder distance apart, more or less. Whatever feels right for you. And push back from your hands. Arch the back, kind of like we were doing with cow. Feel those shoulders. Use your mat so that you stretch back, pushing back, trying to get those heels towards the ground, feeling the stretch in the back of the legs when it feels right. Taking a look at that belly button as we push back. And we look to the hands, take a big step forward. Come up halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to the side. Let's take the right foot back. Heel of the left foot aligns with the arches of your right, more or less, or you could keep them apart depending on balance. Let's bend that left knee and leaning forward first and leaning back, noticing now the right side of the body, right leg going up into the hip as we lean back, opening up the arms and taking the arms back and feeling now the back. Now taking our gaze towards the left hand and taking that left knee slightly more to the left. So we open up. Pelvis is tilted forward a little bit, so we're engaging. Shoulders are down. Arms are strong. And we release. Keep that knee bent and now straighten it out. Let's flip it to the other side. Bending now that right knee. Leaning forward and then leaning back. Feeling now the left side, left hip. Knee going to the right side instead of to the left or to the center, a little bit more to the right, engaging, opening up arms, shoulder blades back and down, shoulders down. Look now to the right hand, middle finger of the right hand, reaching back with the left, shoulders down, arms strong. Release and straighten out that leg and point toes towards the front. Take your pelvis forward a little bit. Bend your knees a little bit and lean forward as you take your butt back. Flattening out the back so the back is not rounded. We're not folding all the way. Feel the inner parts of your legs going into your knees, right? Your feet can be aligned with the edges of the mat, or they could be a little bit at a diagonal, depending on your knees. Straighten out the knees a little bit to see how that feels without folding forward any further and keeping your back long and flat. Feeling now the stretch in the back of the legs more, back of the knees. And just holding for a little bit. You could stay right here, or you could come down further. So keeping your back long without rounding the back, just hinging at the hips and placing your hands on the ground. Remember, you could stay back up and just hold for a moment. Bring your chin to your chest. Lean towards the toes. And use your hands to push back and stretch out the body a little bit more. Slowly come up. Pelvis forward again, noticing the hips, the hip flexors. And now coming out of that triangle prep, walk it out a little bit. Move your head, move your neck, shoulders. Let's place the weight of the body onto that right leg and take that left knee up. Let's take that left foot towards the right leg. So once you find the foot, to find my shorts, push the right leg into the left foot and vice versa, so that you make that strong contact. Hollow out your belly a little bit. And find your balance more or less, right? So take hands to thumbs to chest to heart center. Take a focal point that's not moving. And just notice the moment. Notice the body, notice the space around you. Relax your face, even as you might be feeling sort of like a little bit of fiery energy around your ankle and your shin. Slowly come down and walk it out. Move that ankle around. Move that leg around. And we place the weight of the body onto that left leg, and we lift up that right knee. Take a moment to balance, and then take that right foot to the left, and again press the left to the right. Find your balance. Take your thumbs to heart center. Open up the hips. You could bend that left knee a little bit. release. And walk it out. All right, let's take a seat. So from here, let's go ahead and extend our legs, flatten out our backs. So back long, shoulders back and down a little bit. Hands right by your waist, by your hips, sorry. And toes are flexed, feet are flexed. Look over your toes and keep your legs as straight as possible. If you need to bend them, but the idea is, like, can you straighten out your legs? And if not, go wherever you find that the edge of your comfort, right? We're hinging at the hips, so we're not rounding the back. Spreading the toes out. Just looking over the toes. Take an inhale. On the exhale, lean forward. So again, without rounding, just leaning, hinging at the hips. You could lean a little bit or lean as much as you can, even reaching your toes. If you could reach your toes, grab your fat toes with your 2-piece fingers. Pull the feet towards you as you use the hands as leverage. Keep the back flat. And we release. Let's go ahead and place the soles of the feet together. Keep them up away from you, a little bit apart, so don't bring them too close in. Keep your back long again. So notice I'm rounding my back, and now I'm flattening out the back, and I'm just going to hinge at the hips and lean forward, flat back. Not folding all the way down, just partially. Letting gravity pull me down. Stretching out the body gently. Coming back. Taking that left foot and bringing it towards your right leg, and then bringing that right leg parallel with your left, so they're not going under. So it's completely, I don't know if you could see that. You're not crossing it in, you're leaving that left ankle out a little bit, the right heel out a little bit. So you're completely parallel, and you're lifting. So if you have a block for Richard and Lisa, you could put it under you so that you're a little bit more elevated, and that might be a lot more interesting with your hips, right? If you don't have a block, you could put your mat and roll it up and put it under you so that you have a little bit more support. And we're just going to lean forward. Leaning forward to where it feels good for you without lifting your butt off the mat and without rounding your back. So what we're feeling here is the hips. So keeping the back flat, I'm placing my hands on my knees, sort of engaging my shoulders a little bit. Just bringing awareness to the hips. Slowly come up. And let's switch it around. So let's place the left in front of the right, keeping it parallel as best you can. Back nice and long. Might notice that one knee is higher than the other. Don't press it down. Leave it right where it is. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, lean forward. Again, without pain. So there should be no pain anywhere. Keeping the back long, flat. Hinging at the hips. You could place your hands in front of you if that feels more comfortable. Allowing yourself to drop down gently as the body allows you to. Keeping the back flat. And finding your breath. Slowly coming up. Extend now the left leg and keep the right where it is. Keep your back long and now just lean forward and take that left hand towards the left foot. You don't have to touch it, but you could if you want to. See where this right knee is and keep that right knee where you don't press it down, right? The idea though is to try to keep it on the ground, but if that's not possible, don't push it. You could take your right hand now towards your left so that you could feel the stretch coming from the right side of the body, and you look to that left foot. Slowly come up, extend the right leg, bring left foot in, close to you, lengthen, point right toes up, and that left knee coming as close to the ground as possible without pushing it down, and now reaching towards that right foot. And taking that left hand towards the right foot as well. Sensing the body. And slowly coming up. All right. Bring yourself towards the front of the mat, or your soles of the feet towards the front of the mat, so that you could have space behind you, and lean back. And just hug your knees to your chest and move left and right. Left and right. Left and right movement. Wiggle your toes, add a little smile to your face. Hold that right knee and extend the left. As you hug that knee in, just feel the stretch in the body. Point those toes up. And now take your left hand out to the side and take your right knee to the right side. And just open up gently to where it feels good for you. Bring that right knee to center. Take your left hand to the right knee. Extend your left arm out. And bring that right knee to the left. And just twist as you keep looking towards your right hand. And find that right twist for you today. Might be different tomorrow. And feeling the body, making sure there's no pain, taking it easy, and finding sort of the edge of what we can do. Coming back to center, pulling that knee in, and extending that leg. And sensing the body there, sort of the difference. And now bringing the left knee in, pointing those toes and hugging that knee to the chest. Keeping that back from rounding so it's totally flat back. Sensing the back making contact with the ground. Now taking the right hand out and taking the left knee to the left side, opening up. Coming back to center, take your right hand to the left knee and extend the left arm out and bring that left knee to the right side as you look towards the left hand. Keeping the shoulders flat on the ground. And just finding the right twist, amount of twist for you. Coming back and bringing now the right knee in, hugging yourself, keeping your back flat, moving your ankles and wiggling your toes. Just take feet up to the ground, take your two-piece fingers, grab hold of the fat toes, and take your feet apart and your knees, bring them towards you as you rock left and right very slowly. Happy baby. Notice your back. Sense the body. Slow down. Keep smiling. Coming right to center. Bring your feet in prayer. Hold those feet together. Look up. And extend now the legs. Feeling those hip flexors extend. And let's take Shavasana for a little bit. When you take Shavasana, just notice your breath. See where you could palms face up, if possible. Closing the eyes and just sensing the body and relaxing. Keep your breath natural. Take your inner focal point to sort of the space between your eyes. Gently wiggle your toes and touch your fingertips. And when you're ready, just reach back, extend, bring your feet together and point your toes. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Inhaling. Stretching. Exhaling. One more inhale. And exhale. Turn to your side, taking a fetal position. And with your free hand, just come up. Taking a seated pose one more time, easy seated pose. I hope that you're feeling good. And I hope that we keep at it, right? Yeah, we have a year to practice. We have every day to practice. Encouragement to everybody is to keep moving, exercise, get stronger than you were last year. So for all of us, it's a year, one more year, right? And for those of us who are of a certain age, once we hit, 50 and up, we start losing muscle mass more than before. And so it's really, really important that we do two things. That we lift heavy things, right? Depending on what we can lift, just make sure we're lifting heavy things. And that we are aware of the protein that we're taking in, right? So protein intake for older adults is a lot more, very important, more important than for younger adults. And older adults should be eating more protein and lifting heavy things, right? Doesn't mean you have to go to the gym, but it means that you should be aware of that if throughout the day and throughout the week you're not lifting heavy things, you're probably losing muscle mass and muscle strength. And it's critical as we move through this year that we get stronger, not weaker, right? And so yoga is a good thing, and doing other forms of exercise is very important too. That's my little message to everybody. It's good to see the little boxes and to see your faces. And I'm glad that we're here together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I don't know if any